Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have another example of how well prepared the diplomats, the Western diplomats are compared with others. And even if you don't compare them with others, there's an average value of something, but you also is in the context of a certain kind of competition. So, how do you know you're a good boxer? Well, you have to beat everybody, or most of them. Then you know you're kind of a good boxer. But what if everybody that you fight, everybody is bad, is not good, not a good boxer? You are the best of the level that you are, okay? So if you have, let's say, Liz Truss, you have Baerbock, that I'm going to talk about her here, Annabelle, the foreign minister of Germany. If you have Blinken, okay, what other third can I get? Let's stay with these three, it's enough. So you got three of them. If you got these three, one of them is going to be the best out of the three. But the level is from 0 to 10, 10 being fantastic, 0 being 0. Probably the level is up to 3. So let's say one of them reaches the level 3, and the other one is 2.5, and the other one 2 3/4. Now you can say, yeah, one of them, let's say Lazy Truss, is the best from those three. But from the level that we know, touched and reached by others, set the standards, the bar by others, other foreign ministers on this planet that were and are, these guys are just, children. That's how they are. And you know how you know that? It's very easy. Listen to what they say. And you can analyze. You're not a baby. You can analyze when someone talks shit. And in this case, we have Annabelle, who talks shit. And we have just a speaker, a spokesperson, a spokeswoman. Her name is Maria Zakharova. Very intelligent woman. She just points out to Miss Baerbock, like Putin pointed out to the other weasel, Scholz, when Scholz came to Moscow. Remember? Live on the podium with the press. He embarrassed the guy because he's a tard. He's over there. He was elected democratically, but he is no good. All right, so let's read what's going on in this article, and then we can, analyze. So this article comes from Republic World from October 5th. I was sitting on this one. I was waiting for some reaction, but it was like, beep, dead. So, Russia hits out at Germany for Putin, quote-unquote, redrawing map of Europe remark. And then, quote-unquote, it's funny. So Annabelle Baerbock said that, Putin redraws the map of Europe. And Zakharova said it's funny. And I'm going to explain everything what these two women said. Zakharova maintained that such remarks coming from Germany is funny, as EU member states' current borders were exclusively redrawn in late 1980s. So let's see what's going on here. Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova on October 4 denounced Germany's assertion that Russia has decided to redraw the map of Europe by annexing the Ukrainian territory. So they say, well, they want to redraw the map, that's not good. And then Zakharova said, it's funny that this thesis is spoken in Germany, Zakharova said in her response on Telegram and Facebook. Republic Media Network had earlier reported that German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock, during her Poland visit, asserted that Europe firmly stands against what she described as, quote-unquote, Russia's war of aggression. Baerbock has slammed Russia's President Vladimir Putin's unilateral attempts to illegally shift Europe's borders and redraw Ukraine's map. And Zakharova says EU's borders were exclusively redrawn in the late 1980s, Russian Foreign Minister spokesperson, which is Zakharova, responding to Baerbock's remarks. Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman Zakharova maintained that such remarks coming from Germany is funny, as the EU member states' current borders were exclusively redrawn in the late 1980s. So the Germany was exclusively formed after the fall of the Soviet Union, with the agreements of the big bosses. So what is she talking about? That's okay, but that's not okay. So what is she talking about? I'm not saying that, you know, what the Russians are doing is fantastic. Maybe it is, because they justified by our people were killed by the Ukrainians in the territories that historically were ours. That's their claim. And if you look in history, tell me when first time you heard about Ukraine, and I tell you exactly, 1918. All right. So it says here that she was referring to the collapse of the Nazi Germany. That's another one, and its failed attempt of invading of the former Soviet Union that culminated in a unification treaty. As the Nazi regime collapsed, the allies, oh my God, occupied Germany. The eastern territories of Germany, GDR, East Germany, were given to Poland and the Soviet Union, and Germany's Oder and Neser rivers were declared as the new eastern boundary. So it's done by the Americans as well. Zakharova reiterated the rise of Nazi Germany around World War II, saying, "Let me recall the main political slogan of Chancellor Willy Brandt, that the then leader of Germany's Social Democratic Party of Germany." And he says, "Jetzt wacht zusammengehört." He says, "Now unites what is one whole." The German fascism destroyed half of our country and over 25 million of our citizens, the Russian foreign ministry said. So she's just the Russian foreign minister spokeswoman lambasted Germany for accusing Russia of redrawing the map of Europe, saying it's not Berlin to stutter about the redrawing of borders. Their historical experience is scary to remember, but it cannot be forgotten either, she said. Well, it's just, and then it calls here that she stated that Western Military's North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, split Serbia using the cluster bombs on Yugoslavia in 1999, which led to the withdrawal of Yugoslav armed forces from Kosovo. And it launched an offensive of the Bosnian Serbs army during the World War in Bosnia-Herzegovina to fulfill the American adventure with Kosovo independence. So she gives a lot of examples here, and that's, what are you talking about? The Americans intervened and changed borders however they wanted, and then the Germans did with the unification. Who changed it? Who changed it? And then, if you want to be, honest about it, there are certain circumstances that always change things. I'm not, as I said, I'm not condoning, supporting whatever the Russians are doing. That's not my country. If I look at it from a, trying to be objective about it, those things happened before, and they're not considered bad. And one of them, look at, for instance, an American-Mexican war, or Mexican-American war. Look at that and see what happened. If you want to look further, go at the Spanish-American War. Look what happened then. Remember how Texas got to be part of the United States. So these are just, then look at the Germans, the Nazis, right? What they did with Czechoslovakia, what they did with the Sudetenland. They invaded Poland because of the Danzig corridor. It's all the same thing. And, if Nazis did bad, the Americans did good. How come? It was the same kind of thing. Our connationals are over there killed by your people. We got to defend them. And they intervene. So what are you talking about? And as I said, Baerbock is just dumb. As Scholz, when he came to Moscow, remember, right before the invasion, the 24th of February 2022, he said that this would be the first time when it's going to be a war in Europe after the end of the Second World War. That's how Scholz knew history. And Putin said, what the hell are you talking about? Scholz, smack. What about Yugoslavia war? Wasn't that in Europe? And that's how Scholz did. when the guy was translating into his earpiece. Yeah. So you see, you got these kinds of diplomats dealing with those kinds of diplomats. As I explained many times, it's like two teams. And our team is with Blinken, Liz Truss, Baerbock, Biden, Kamala Harris. These are in our team. These are our stellar players, the best players. They are in control. And on the other hand, on the other side, you have, Jai Shankar of India, you have Lavrov of Russia, you have Wang Yi of China, just to mention a few. You have, if you want, Orban of Hungary. Look at those, how they speak, and look at these guys, how they speak. And I'm not mentioning the weasels that are leading Ukraine at this point, or the 4 guys that dance hora right now, and they are in charge of the Ukrainian nation. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.